When we're born, when we're growing up, we try to make sense of the world that we find ourselves in. We want to belong, we want to be accepted. As we grow older, through our teens and into our 20s, we want to get employment. Again, it's to be accepted, it's to belong. And everything we see around us is thought to be normal. If we look at the graph of the world population, we can understand that this is not a normal period we live in at all. It's remarkable. It's a completely unique period. We are living within a population explosion. The world population grew steadily to about 1 billion in 1800. In our days, it's tripling within one lifetime, so that a person who was born in 1960 was in a world of 3 billion people. Recently, in 2000, it passed 6 billion. It's heading towards 9 billion, all within the lifetime of that one person. The graph that we've had a look at is very similar to the graph of greenhouse gases. That is quite a famous graph now, called a hockey stick graph, because it goes along fairly flat, if you like, and then takes off like a rocket from 1900. And in our time, it's going well past any sensible limit. So it's important to consider how many people might fit into this world. Well, here we are. I'm sitting in my living room making this tape, and outside there is the front garden with the pear tree, the plum tree, the apple tree, and in another direction at the top of this little property is a little vegetable garden where I grow my beans and cabbages and other vegetables. Comfortable enough. It's impossible, that lifestyle is quite impossible for the majority of the people on the planet. We'd need about 3 planets to fit all that in. So we're moving past any sensible limit. We've gone past any sensible limit until we're approaching a further limit where the whole collapse of civilization is becoming quite possible, and that's showing today in the numbers of refugees who are moving across into Europe. Great movements of refugees are in part a result of too many people. What is the reaction of most people to that is collective denial and, quite frankly, stupidity. There are still calls for growth, of economies, greater use of resources, and so on. Even population growth is welcomed by many people. However, the crash is fast approaching us. It's 2015. Once, when we forecast a crash around 2030, it was well in the future, but it isn't anymore. It's only 15 years away, and it's coming. So we have to consider how to deal with this and look at that very seriously. So I started work on global issues in 1970. That was 45 years ago, and now the warnings are coming true. So that was once a future forecast, and it's become a reality. The norm that everybody wants to belong to fit into. Remember, all these young people being born, growing up, trying to fit in what they see around them. They want to be accepted and rewarded. That norm is just crazy. So that's the great problem we have to face up to. Now, if we live long enough, we do see that pattern emerging. The problem is that young people don't see the pattern. So there's a great responsibility then on older people to speak out and to say what they can see. And there's a great responsibility on the younger people to listen to old people and stop ignoring these important messages.